Have you ever had an emotional reaction to a creative work? It's likely that you have seen a movie that has made you cry, or listened to a song that has pulled on your heartstrings. Maybe you felt connected to the characters or stories because of similarities. But sometimes that emotional impact comes from putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Like other creative works, books can also have that effect. Reading can improve emotional intelligence and increase empathy in both adults and children. Empathy can be described as being psychologically attuned to someone else's feelings and perspectives. For children, books can be some of their first experiences with diversity and exposure to different cultures. Reading has been my main hobby since I was a young child. I have been transported through characters, unlocking stories that have expanded my own worldview and forced me to think outside of myself. The ability to feel compassion for others is a major factor in developing interpersonal and intrapersonal skills. According to research, readers of fiction narratives tend to have stronger empathetic skills than those who do not read this genre. In our current society, where there is so much division and contempt for those who are different, fictional narratives give readers the chance to connect to others in an easy and accessible way. In my speech today, first, I will be telling you how reading can change people's attitudes towards stigmatized or minority groups. Second, I will tell you how fostering a love of reading in children encourages empathy as a developmental skill. Now, reading gifts us with the magical opportunity to step inside a character's mind and circumstance, increasing empathy by eliminating the barriers of gender, sexuality, race, ethnicity, religion, etc. Throughout a book, you may find yourself empathizing with a character that surprises you. Fiction has the ability to transport you emotionally and introduce readers to experiences unlike those that they are familiar with. Words on a page can introduce us to what it's like to be swept in a war, immigrate to a new country, experience discrimination, be born into poverty, etc. In this context, fiction simulates social experiences. Fiction encourages the reader's imagination, sending them to a different time, place, and culture. Following characters who endure hardships and face moral dilemmas allows you, a reader, to develop a greater sense of compassion for those who are actively going through similar struggles. There's long-standing research on prejudice reduction. Prejudice can arise out of the fear of the unknown. A lot of the time, stereotypes are innate and something that we must actively face in order to understand others and eliminate our own unconscious bias. Researchers from universities in Italy explored how reading fiction can be a powerful strategy in improving human attitudes. I'm sure, like myself, many of you have read the Harry Potter series. In the story, there are many characters that represent themes and those from stigmatized groups in their fantasy world. For example, Muggles, also called mudbloods, are deemed less than because they were born into a different world, the human world, even if they have the same magical abilities as everyone else. We are also introduced to the Malfoy characters, a family that was born into privilege, wealth, and power within the magical world, we can quickly identify as villains in the story. Although the author herself does not practice the message of the words she has written, the Harry Potter series was used to conduct their research in Italy and examine the perception of stigmatized groups. The participants of this study included 5th graders, high school students, and college students. Throughout a 6-week course, researchers found that those who read Harry Potter had more positive perceptions of the LGBTQ+ community, improved attitudes towards refugees, and engaged in discussions related to bigotry, and prejudice. This leads into my second point. Reading encourages empathy in children and adolescents. According to an article in the Scientific American, researchers found evidence that literary fiction improves a reader's capacity to understand what others are thinking and feeling. This research also argues that literary fiction teaches us values about social behavior and the importance of understanding those who are different from ourselves. Studies show that reading helps children build developmental skills of emotional intelligence and empathy. This enables young readers to better connect to others who may have different perspectives and experiences. It is important for the adults in the children's lives, teachers, parents, mentors, etc., to foster a love of reading, which in turn helps children develop their emotional growth. In conclusion, fictional narratives offer readers the developmental tools necessary to increase empathy and improve emotional intelligence. Stories can be points of access for understanding lived experiences that are unknown to us. This grants us the opportunity for connection on a broader human scale. If everyone took the time to expand their worldview, we would find that there's much more that connects us than divides us. Thank you.